If you've got limited space for trees and you're really keen to grow some fruit at home, anei te rongo ai hoa ma. A really great idea is to espalier. Espalier trees are trained to grow flat against a wall, fence or trellis. While nearly any plant can be espaliered, including vines and climbing plants, most people prefer using fruit trees such as apple and plum. All we need is anei ngā rauemi, wire, he here whāroro, stretchy ties, he hāpara, shovel, he whakahaumako, compost, 8 hook bolts, eye and eye turnbuckle, 8 framing brackets, kia waru pūringa taitapa. I te rānei. So today I've got a selection of citrus to plant, to espalier. I've got a Tahitian lime, which is a really no-fuss, easy grower. A little dwarf mandarin called a chinotto. And over here, our classic Maya lemon. So to espalier, you need 2 vertical posts per tree. E toro a mātou rākau, we've got 3 trees, so we're going to need 4 vertical posts. You can either wire directly into your fence post, or you can use a system we're using today. We've made these brackets, which means that we can plant the root ball away from the concrete slab. Leave 2.5 metres between the posts. Kia taurite te katoa. Make sure they are level before screwing them to the fence. Now it's time to decide where to put the wire. Ka mihi a te peka whakaheke. So find the lowest branch and measure to ground level. That's about 250. And now drill some holes for the wires. So for the ends I'm using a hook bolt, which we pop through our holes. And they're really easy to use just with a washer. And we can just bolt them on. So we've got these nice big sturdy hooks which will hold the wire in place. And we've just got these on the end posts. Nā, me tāpiri atu I te waia. Then you just add the wire. I'm putting wire rope grips and an eye turnbuckle on each end of the wire, and then simply putting them on the hooks and tension the wire till it's nice and taut. Now we've got good tension on our wire, e nei, me whakatoa I ngā rākau. Dig a hole approximately twice the depth and width of the root ball of your tree and partly filled with compost. Whakakingi a te ipu ki te wai. So we're going to pop our plant in this bucket of water. Separate the roots. I've added a little bit of seaweed tonic. It stops root shock and it also feeds the plant, gives it a good little bit of lunch to get it going. So we're just going to let it sit there until the bubbles stop. That way we know that the root ball is fully absorbed all the liquid and there's no more oxygen in there. Now when we pop our tree into the hole, it's quite important to get it facing the right direction. So we want to look at our branches and see which direction they're growing in or which way they can be. In fact, I'm going to turn that around. Turn that around, push it hard up against the wire. You can see where they're going to be tied to the wire. Fill it in with some compost. Make sure you tuck it in nice and tightly. Right, so now we're ready to train our branches. I'm using soft tie to tie the branches onto the wire. Otherwise, kei mate te peka, you're going to kill the branch if it's too tight. But also I've noticed that there's a damaged branch back here. We want to get rid of that because that's going to invite disease. We also need to imagine how our tree is going to grow in a couple of years' time. Citrus are really slow growing. It's going to take a few years for this dude to get to the top. As it's got new growth or as its branches grow, as you see like dangly bits hanging out, just tie them on. They're really thirsty and they're really hungry. So you need to keep them well watered, particularly in dry weather, and well fed. Now I find a combination of food really good. You can either buy an all-purpose citrus food, but magnesium sulfate, which is old-fashioned Epsom salts, is fantastic for them. Blood and bone, sheep pellets, seaweed fertiliser, anything natural you can chuck at them is good. If you go fishing, a good old fish head tucked in underneath or dug in by the side is also really great. This one's just a bubba, so we've only got one branch to tie, and as it grows we'll need to train it further up the wiring system. They're all done now. So it's got its training wheels on now, so to speak. Nā e hoa ma.